everyone. As expected, I have been guided to come back on and ask for another card. And the one that has been received is the Lovers, which is, as we all know, a very powerful and beautiful card. So I feel here that this is obviously the twin flame bond. It is this deep divine connection that is from source, from somewhere outside of the physical body. This is something far greater than any of us. And those of you who are fortunate enough to have met that person and had a connection will know that this is just something that is profound, it is beautiful, and it is bigger than anything, it is greater than anything. So I feel that the key thing here is not only the connection in the physical, and I feel that this is through the eyes, the fact that the eyes can say a lot, they can tell a great amount of stories and communication without words, without any need to engage in conversation. But it's also about this 5D connection. It's about the real huge significance and importance of this 5D bond, allowing each other to sort of penetrate your energy and come into your zone and your place of being throughout the day on a 5D energetic sort of vibration frequency is so important on this journey, because this is, as I said in a previous reading there, it's almost like it is the practice, it is the warm-up, it is the playground. If you can get used to allowing one another to just engage with each other, to dance and to play and just talk to each other and send each other messages and receive information, receive songs and receive guidance, then that makes things so much easier when it comes time for that in the physical, in the 3D. And I feel that, if you have met this person and you are ever in a position where you get the opportunity to be face to face and look deeply into them within the eyes, then you know then that what you feel there is just something else. It's nothing to do with sort of the chemistry, the physical aspects of sort of sexual desire or anything like that. It is a bonding of soul and of heart. It is something so pure, so deep, and we're talking really deep here. This is a level that you've never experienced this before, but just that connection, just the eyes contacting, and I mean holding it for long enough to feel something different, and you feel that change. You know that it is, as I say, more than just desire. It becomes about energy. It becomes about what is happening between the two of you as souls, as energy, as spirit. And sometimes for people that can be really moving. It can be somewhat traumatic. It can bring up a lot of emotions, and it can be quite tough to handle. And for a lot of people, it's fear, and they may need to block that. They may need to run away and hide from that. But it's simply because it's unknown. People are scared of a new, unfamiliar territory. But the thing is, it's not unfamiliar. In truth, it really is not. It is somewhere where you have spent so much of your time as a soul, as a being. You have come back time and time again to incarnate with that person. You have learned so many lessons in so many lifetimes. There's a reason you always come back to be with that person, because you trust them, you understand them, they are your mirror, they are your guide. They love you unconditionally, always, and they are here to heal with you, to grow with you, to transform you, and just make you the most beautiful, beautiful soul, and you are doing that for them. So we have to get into this free flow state where we can be comfortable with one another's energy. And if that means we're too afraid in the physical because of fears of intimacy and being in a vulnerable position where we feel those emotions with the connection of the eyes, or even just the body, if you stood near your twin flame and you feel the change in energy within the body, it can also arise some deep wounds and some emotions from past lives, things that have happened between you. And you do sometimes just want to run a mile and turn away and hide, and never come out. You want to hide in the back of a cave because that feels safe. But just know and trust that you're meant to do this. You were here, you chose to come back and do this. So if you don't feel strong enough in the physical form, then do it in the 5D. You can find that person's energy, you can tune into it, and you will know it when you feel it. It just feels like the most open, comforting space. It's like somebody's just opened up their arms and they're just going to take you and hold you, and you're weightless, you're protected, and you surrender, you trust. and all of your guards come down. It's almost just like, as I've said once before, it's like being a baby and knowing that you are going to be held and loved and nurtured. You know that they are there for you 100%, and within that energy field you just let go. So practicing that throughout the day, just practicing feeling for that, ask for it as well. If you're not at the minute in contact and you haven't done this before, just sit with it for a moment, just think about them, just imagine them. And if you don't know what they look like, just imagine the energy, just go into that space of feeling and trusting and knowing that familiar territory in that zone. And ask your guides, your loved ones, and your twin to come forward and shine that light with you, to join you in that place, to feel their love and that unconditional healing and bliss. Sit with it, practice it, allow it to come and go, so that you don't then, when you have a physical connection, you don't feel, this on guard, stunned, I must sort of defend myself here. You don't go into that sort of place out of shock or fear. You just think, oh, it's this again, and you have become aware of it. You've grown accustomed to it, and you are at ease with it. And the thing is, this is the one person in your whole world, probably the only person where you will ever feel as peaceful and as unguarded as this. And yes, we have to go through our own baggage or our own issues to be able to fully surrender into that. But even just being there with them, just feeling that energy will help you get to that point. You don't have to do it all at once. It's not like somebody's saying you've met them and that's it now. You've got to get on with it. No, these things take time. It's about the journey. It's about the growth. It's about the healing. And it's also a massive thing is this unconditional love. So there might be aspects of yourself that you really don't like. You might be very self-critical about yourself, and you really dislike certain things going on in your life or your behaviors. And the thing is, they will love you anyway. They will love you no matter what, because all they see is your beauty and your light, and they understand that you have many different aspects of you, but that is who makes you this beautiful person as you are. Because if you didn't have these things, then that whole wouldn't look like that, would it? It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Everything pieces together and has a domino effect, and it affects one and the other to form something beautiful. It's all interwoven, and there's no point with this person in trying to hide parts of yourself. There's no point in saying, I don't want them to see that, I don't want to be vulnerable with them. I don't want them to know that about myself, because they know it anyway. They know it, as I was saying before, about being in tune and just feeling, knowing things in here. We're not going into the mind. We're not overanalyzing. We're not questioning a situation or a person. We just know and trust and feel it in here. And if you've had that experience, chances are you know things about them as well that perhaps you feel you shouldn't. And I said this the other day, it's not that at all. It's not that you shouldn't. It's the fact that they have allowed you into that space. They have surrendered. They have dropped their guards. There's no doorman there anymore. You're free to go in and have a look around and familiarize yourself with it, to perhaps learn and grow from it yourself, and to understand them better as a soul, which means you're understanding yourself better as a soul. So allowing that and just going in and out and just taking that time for it is so important, because they will love you anyway. No matter what they see, no matter what they uncover, they will love you always. And it's just so powerful. Not many people have that opportunity to be in that situation where they can be fully unguarded, unprotected. Most people will spend their lives pretending to be something they're not, because it's safe. It's it's the norm for them. It's comfortable just keeping people at arm's length, but in truth it really isn't. We don't want to live our lives guarded at arm's length. We want to be in this place here, this place of just complete surrender, knowing, trust and faith and love. That's all anybody wants, is that connection, that oneness, that stillness. So yeah, going back to the card, I just feel that this is, as we know, it is divine anyway. It is protected. It is meant to be. So trust in that, have faith with it, embrace it, please. Don't be guarded to higher sort of beings or higher connections. Know and trust that, yes, they are wise. They have words of wisdom to come forward and share with you, but also you are part of that. It's not that they are anything better than you, that they have knowledge that you're not able to access. You have it all in here. It's just a case of allowing yourself to go into that place of surrender and peace. And yeah, that takes practice. It takes time, as we've said before. I think sometimes you've got to clear some of the baggage away. You have to do some of your own self-healing. You have to clear out some of your negative beliefs, your negative thinking patterns, and look at the more beautiful side of yourself, just to respect who you are as a soul, and that everybody's been through something tough. Everybody's done something they regret, or they just, they wish they could turn back time and change things. Lifetime after lifetime, you will come back and you will make mistakes, but know that they are not mistakes. They are there as part of the learning journey. They were meant to be there. They were intended, and they have helped to grow you. So don't feel that, there are sides of you that should be hidden, that should be forgotten, should be suppressed, or should be ignored. No, it's time to embrace those parts of ourselves, to understand them. And then, yes, if we've come to terms with it, if it's something we need to move on from, then there becomes a time when it's time to let go. But your person can help you do this. You can come together on the 5D energetically. You can just exchange thoughts, memories, process your emotions together. Don't feel that you have to do it on your own. So if you are in a place at the moment where you're trying to do some inner healing work, you're trying to sort of work through your shadows and find out who you are, what's going on, perhaps even where the direction is in your life because you've just lost it completely, ask for help with that. Tune in with your twin and ask them for guidance, because they can see the end of the road in a different way from where you are in this 3D body, and likewise you can for them also. So don't ever feel that it's a one-way street here, that it's just about you in the 3D connecting with them in the 5D and vice versa. It is both. It is both of you together as one. So you're both equal. You have the same experiences, and you might find that in real life, that you're mirroring what each other's going through at different times. And again, that's part of the understanding. You have to have experienced something yourself to be able to get your head around it, to have the knowledge, to know what's going on there. And then when they experience that, you can understand it because you've been there, you've felt it, and you've grown from it. And then you can then go into the 5D with that guidance, with that healing, and then that experience, and help them to get through it as well. And at the time you might think, well, where were they? Where were they when I needed healing? But they were there. They were there. Trust me. It just comes through in little subtle ways until you're open to allowing the flow. Because, we don't want to be suddenly hit with this big, huge wave, like somebody's just opened the dam and it's come and it's taken us. Not at all. That would scare us. It would put us into fear. It would create a block. And that's not what this is about. It's allowing slow trickles of information to come through, and to be received until we feel that level of trust. And most of you trust anyway, but you trust from a place of not knowing why you trust. And that's fine, in that, there is no real reason why we should trust them, because it's ourself, it's our own twin, it's part of our soul. However, understanding that trust, knowing what that's about, and really being able to sort of categorize it into a certain reason for our own awareness, will help us to then have faith in the next step, to be able to move forward into something far deeper. And that's what this journey is all about. It's about going deeper all the time. Anybody on this journey who's in this connection is not here for surface level relationships. They are not here to just sort of meander through life. And yes, life gets monotonous and it does feel mundane and heavy, but those of you who are awakened and are connected in this bond are not going to tolerate that kind of lifestyle. It's not enough, because and you feel in here that there is something far greater and far deeper, and that is what you're searching for. So keep going, keep moving, keep practicing. Don't expect things to just be given to you. Don't expect this wonderful sort of array of light and explosion to happen, and you suddenly wake up one day and you've got everything you need, and your life's just transformed. No, it doesn't work like that. It has to be your journey in your time, in divine time as well. But just if you imagine you're like fish, the two of you, your twins, are swimming up and down, bobbing out the water. That's what it's like. So when somebody's down, the other one might be up, and vice versa. It's part of the ebb and flow of life, and it needs to be that way. You're both swimming together and you are alongside each other, but you're experiencing different things at different times. But both together for the same purpose, for spiritual growth and advancement and progression. Um, and there will come a day when you just look back on your life and you think, my goodness. And then it's almost as if you feel that explosion that it did actually come into your life and your life was transformed. And you forget how hard the struggle was, because it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter how much pain you may have felt at the time, no matter how many years it may have taken, no matter what's happened. It was all meant to happen exactly as it did. And that's the beauty of it all. It just unfolds like magic when it's meant to, when you are ready to receive it as well. And that's another thing. Don't put pressure on your twin to sort of awaken and come forward before their time, because they're not going to. It doesn't matter what you say or what you do. They'll only listen, they'll only pay attention when they are ready to awaken themselves, and they'll know, because they'll feel it in here. Something will switch, something will change. Allow them to find their own gears and to exchange and move up when they're ready. Don't put pressure on them, because they'll just run a million miles back. Excuse me. Apologies, I did just need to sneeze, and that is not something I do very often. So I feel that that is again a sign of release. It is allowing them to come forwards when they're ready to release, and move into their journey. You can just go with the flow. If you're at that point now in your life where you have released and you're ready to move forwards, then do that. Know that in having that, almost that sneeze, that clearance of energy, you've blasted everything out of the way. You've got rid of the dirt, the debris, the heavy baggage. You've gone through all the hard stuff. You've uncovered some of the truths of who you are. You've cleared space for greater learning and empowerment, and embodying the sort of true reality of who you are into your daily life. Focus on that. Focus on your passions. Focus on learning. There's always more to learn, and just know that they're right behind you. They really are. Like, if you've just sneezed now and you've just had that explosion like I have, then they're going to do it as well. They're just a tiny bit behind you, but their power is just as strong and as bright as yours, because you are the same. So have faith, have trust, and know that you are the divine. You are the lovers. This is protected. You are guided. You see each other. You feel each other. You know each other. You remember each other. You are each other, and you are meant to be with each other. So trust in that. Connect with them, talk to them, spend time with them, sit with them, feel them, and send your unconditional love. Don't wait for it on the 3D. You could be waiting years yet. Just release and allow all that energy and that exchange to flow. Enjoy its beauty and its magic and its power. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.